Every day, millions of people dream of having real-life superpowers. Some people have superhuman abilities involving incredible pain resistance or great control over their body temperature. But these are things that don't really matter. They might be cool to watch, but they're not very useful for improving your life. Whether you realize it or not, your subconscious mind is the boss of everything that you do. Every action, every thought is the result of beliefs that you hold in your subconscious. This is so important because it means that every person on the planet is also controlled by their subconscious mind. A real-life superpower that you can develop is the ability to reprogram the subconscious, whether it's yours or someone else's. Before we continue, it is important to understand that when used on other people, this knowledge is designed to influence rather than control. One of the keys to getting what you want in life is being able to influence other people. All of the biggest companies in the world do it every single day. And if you haven't already noticed, you're the one doing the influencing or someone else is influencing you. The ability to reprogram the subconscious is a real-life superpower, and it can be achieved through using several different strategies. One of the favorites used by some of the biggest companies in the world is subliminal messaging. And by using this technique in their advertising, they can literally program your subconscious mind to buy their products without you even knowing it. Over time, many studies have shown that the action and decisions of consumers can be guided with certain information. And since this information bypasses the conscious mind, consumers aren't even aware that they're being influenced. So what is a subliminal message? Sub simply means below the normal limits of perception, and message obviously means message. Imagine your head is like a vault. The goal of every advertiser in the world is to get certain information inside of this vault. The reason why so many advertisers don't succeed in doing this is because your vault is guarded by your conscious mind. This is that little voice inside of your head that is always talking and telling you if something you see or hear is not true. For the most part, your conscious mind is good at what it does, but like the computer systems of the world, there is always a weakness, always a way in. Some examples of subliminal messages are audio or visual signals that are just brief enough to bypass your conscious mind and gain entry into the vault or your subconscious. Subliminal messages were made popular in 1957 by a study that involved movie theaters using subliminal messaging to increase the sales of popcorn and Coca-Cola, which was later found to be fabricated. According to the studies, there are two beliefs held about this technique. Some people believe that your subconscious absorbs only the simple features of the message, while others believe that it absorbs much more than can be described. A popular form of subliminal messaging that is believed to exist involves inserting hidden messages into TV programs and movies, which are projected at 23 to 30 frames per second. 1 out of every 25 of the frames projected will contain a hidden command, and it flashes across the screen so quickly that your conscious mind doesn't perceive it. This information is important to understand, but since this technique involves projecting images onto a screen and certain types of technology, it is not a practical way for you to influence others. One of the most practical ways to influence someone and send a belief straight into their subconscious mind involves something called trust theory. Think about this for a second. Imagine some guy at the grocery store tells you that he just saw a pig flying over the store. Your conscious mind will take this information in and come to the conclusion that the guy is not telling the truth, or he's just completely nuts. Because according to your subconscious, pigs can't fly, right? Now imagine you go home, you turn on the TV, and your local news station is live at the grocery store, talking about how they just witnessed pigs flying over the store. Most people trust the local news, and when suggestions come from a trusted source, they instantly bypass your conscious mind and create a belief within your subconscious mind. This is one of the reasons why social proof is so powerful. Imagine you see a guy on the street who looks homeless. Upon meeting him, he tells you that he's actually a billionaire. Since he is not a trusted source, this suggestion is immediately filtered by your conscious mind. Now imagine 3 of your closest friends call you and tell you that some billionaire is going around town pretending to be homeless for a social experiment. Since you generally see your friends as trusted sources, their suggestions bypass your conscious mind easily and go straight into your subconscious, or the vault that holds your beliefs. To bypass a person's conscious filter, all that you need to do is become a trusted source in their eyes, or figure out how to get your message through with a source that they already trust. For example, think about some girl that you like. Maybe you're kind of a nerdy guy, and she wouldn't normally go for your type. An easy way to subconsciously influence this girl to give you a chance would be to get her friends to talk about you in a positive way. If one of her friends says something positive about you, she will become intrigued. If two of her friends say something positive about you, her interest in you will grow even larger. But if three friends say something good about you, then she'll hardly be able to resist investigating to see if what her friends say about you is true. This is why girls who tell their girlfriends that a guy is a player usually have the opposite effect of protecting the girl from him, and instead, it usually results in the girl becoming even more attracted to him. Many girls are actually masters at subconscious influence, and they will use a guy's friends to make him like them. Put simply, one of the easiest ways to subconsciously influence someone is to become a trusted source, or to gain access to a source that they already trust, which allows you to send suggestions directly into their subconscious mind without worrying about their conscious filter getting in the way. It is up to you to figure out the specifics of exactly how to do this. As mentioned in the previous video, one of the laws that governs the subconscious mind states that repetition causes beliefs to grow stronger. What if you've been working out, but you still don't believe that you're stronger and more muscular? Over time, people at the grocery store and friends and relatives start saying things about your physique and ask you if you've been working out. These repetitions or repeated things that people have been saying to you begin to form a belief in your subconscious mind that you're muscular and strong, and the old belief that you're skinny and weak is dissolved. The next technique that allows you to influence others and yourself involves hypnosis. And although it sounds like it would be some sort of BS, it is actually backed up by scientific evidence, and it works. Self-hypnosis can be used to increase your confidence, set goals, and even lose weight. During hypnosis, a person's body is induced into a relaxed state, which basically causes the conscious mind to let its guard down. Hypnosis, like subliminal messaging, allows you to send suggestions directly into a person's subconscious mind. When most people hear the word hypnosis, they imagine some creepy guy swinging a pendulum and commanding a person to bark like a dog or something like that. But this isn't even close to how it actually works. Hypnosis really just involves a person being very relaxed and more receptive to suggestions. Most people actually enter a hypnotic state right before they fall asleep. I remember when I first got my license, I used to ask my parents if I could drive the car up to McDonald's or somewhere to get something to eat right before they had fallen asleep. The next day, they would ask about it and not remember saying yes. This wasn't done on purpose, but it ended up working out for me anyway. This is a great example of influencing someone while they're in a hypnotic state. The third way to develop the real-life superpower of influence involves using subconscious cues. Most people believe that they're very logical when it comes to making decisions. For example, a lot of people believe logically that they purchased a Mercedes-Benz because it's a better brand. But studies have shown that, as humans, we're not quite as logical as we think. And it has been discovered that our subconscious plays a huge role in every decision that we make, even if we don't realize it. For example, many people think that they bought a Mercedes because it's the best brand. After thinking about it, that is the logical conclusion that they came to. But look just below the surface, and you will find that they really bought the Mercedes because certain aspects of it appealed to their subconscious. In other words, people are more likely to choose products and even dating partners that appeal to their subconscious mind over products and people that appeal to their conscious mind. In fact, a person's connection to a particular brand or an individual is highly influenced by how that person or individual appeals to their subconscious mind. So in practical terms, what does this really mean? It has been discovered that, for example, people choose certain products that best describe their personality. Most people purchase a Mercedes not because they think that it's the best brand, but because it allows them on a subconscious level to effectively express their personality. People who want to show off buy sports cars or luxury sedans. Find any person who drives such cars, and if you look closely enough, you'll almost always find that they also use other products that allow them to show off, which is a part of their personality. For example, they might also wear expensive clothing, or if they're girls, they always have their hair and nails done. You're probably wondering what this has to do with influencing people, and the answer is everything. To become a master of persuasion and influencing the subconscious mind, it all starts with understanding a person's unique psychology and personality. With this understanding, you can display the right subconscious cues that will influence them to do or think almost anything that you want. The biggest companies in the world spend tens of millions of dollars to understand their target customer, because this is the key to subconsciously influencing them to buy more products or take certain actions. Imagine you're trying to influence a hiring manager to give you a job. Your friend tells you who this person is, and by simply reading a few of their social media posts, you find out that they're a huge Harry Potter fan, and that they hold the belief that all Harry Potter fans are smart and trustworthy people. After learning this, you go out and buy a Harry Potter shirt and wear it to the interview. By understanding this person's psychology, you were able to use the Harry Potter shirt as a subconscious cue to influence the hiring manager to give you the job. No harm is done to the other person, and everything works out because you end up getting the job. How about another example? Imagine you're about to buy a used car. We all know that car salesmen will try to get the most money out of you as possible. They're not all bad people, but they do have a reputation for being dishonest. To get the best price, your goal would be to subconsciously influence them to be more honest. But how could we do that? The answer is simply wearing a shirt that has a big pair of eyes on it, and the eyes need to give the impression that they're looking directly at the salesman. Studies have shown that simply placing a poster with eyes on it inside of a room affected the people in it subconsciously and caused them to be more honest. The extra set of eyes on your shirt gives the car salesman the impression that a third party is watching him and subconsciously influences him to be more honest. But consciously, he has absolutely no idea why he feels compelled to be more honest to you. Subliminal messaging, hypnosis, and subconscious cues are all ways to directly bypass the conscious mind and send suggestions directly into the subconscious. For most people, however, subliminal messaging isn't practical, but it's still important to understand how and why it works. At the end of the day, it is up to you to get creative and figure out how you can use this information to become a master of subconscious influence and persuasion to get what you want out of life. Once you get good at deploying subconscious cues and begin to get more of what you want from life, you'll start to feel like you actually have real life superpowers. And with that said, until next time, thanks for watching.